This goes to the show. We are two guys talking cars in the shop.
And I'll tell you this. If you see this, congratulations. Because if you may not see it at all, because it might be so bad that this just goes off into oblivion. So if you see this, give us a little thumbs up saying, thanks, you guys actually did it. Because all we are a bunch of car guys. We're not tech guys. We're not camera guys, sound guys, lighting guys. That's what happened here. So I actually hit a button and it started flashing.
You know by the music, this is where I start to talk. Hey, everybody. I'm Kenny. This is Chris. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are the American Car Classics radio podcast. I had to take a breath there because I talked too much.
Well, it's been so long.
It seems like it's been a while since we've been here, Chris, but we've been across like the country. We've been doing a tour.
Super busy. You guys haven't seen much, but we've been super busy.
Well, we hope you've seen a bit. We've been out at Ford's Garage a couple different times. One, we did that super long, I hope it was fun podcast. That was our popping our cherry on the live format. Then we went back 5 days later and did a car show with Joe Rodriguez and Space Coast
Cars and
Motorcycles.
Great dude.
Cars and Coffee.
Absolutely great guy.
Is it Cars and Motorcycle?
No, Cars and Motorcycles.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun doing that. How many cars were there, Chris? It was so much.
It was a sea of cars. So it was it was a free car show at Ford's Garage.
Yeah.
And that really opened the floodgates. I really thought like the car market was dwindling.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. So I took the drone up. And with the drone, it went from Ford's Garage to the adjacent business.
A business that was shut down.
And it was wrapped around that business.
Right.
And up and down the street. Man, it was amazing.
And this was Sunday morning. We're talking the show started at 8:30, ended at 10:30 or 8 o'clock until 10:30 a.m. So very short, quick, sweet. A lot of car guys really love that. So that really makes it good. But then it grew and grew. We had a monster truck out there and everything else in between. But over 300. Documented over 300 cars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And this was something that Ford's Garage was very proud of. They had one other car show before this. It was an exclusive all Ford show. They brought around 150. So to double it, opening up the brands on a Sunday morning, weather was perfect.
Oh,
you could not have bought a better day. We had a lot of fun. I brought Lucy out. We have some stickers that are the American Car Classics Radio Podcast stickers with Lucy, our 70 Nova on there. We saw a lot of parents taking pictures with the car and then taking a sticker to like commemorize that you were with the car or something. It was kind of cool to watch that.
Yeah,
and the drone footage, they're seeing this. This is some good stuff that was going to be up there. And
absolutely.
What a diverse amount of cars. Ferraris, down to I saw an MG.
Was there a Lambo out there?
There was a Lamborghini. There was a green one.
There was a real Cobra.
The real Cobra.
427 Cobra.
Yeah.
Which needs a paint job really bad.
I solicited them just a little bit. That's what I do. But we had a lot of fun with it. And Joe puts on a heck of a show.
Yeah.
And
the guys at Ford's Garage were absolutely great to us.
Yeah. And they
ate afterwards, which I don't know if you've ever eaten there. But we're not sponsored by them. The food's really good.
The food is good.
So they're not paying us to say that.
No.
It's really good food.
No. During the podcast, we sat there and talked about we're both kind of picky about food. We'll keep it politically correct and we'll say we're picky about foods. Yeah. I'm not a brisket guy. I'm not a cheddar cheese guy. I'm a white. I eat white cheese. I just don't do yellow a lot. We ate the crap out of that brisket sandwich with cheddar, man. That was... In mid shot,
you were trying to pass it to me, and I had a mouthful of food. That was not happening. I was like, "You go ahead and keep talking."
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, and I'm looking over here to my left, stage right as it would be. Oh,
we've been gone for a while, right? It feels that way anyway because we haven't had a podcast in the studio for a while, as we like to call it, the shop, and. We got new cameras. I hope they're coming through for you guys. I hope you guys like them a lot better. We got new sound pads. We got all kinds of new stuff, man.
Yeah. We spent our Christmas money.
Absolutely. And then some. But not only do we have new stuff, we have a new newness.
Yeah.
Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Newness, guys.
We're just going to get her a shirt that says, "Hi, I'm new."
So tell us about
I'm game for it.
Tell us about yourself, Stephanie.
I am 40 years old and have 2 kids. Moved here in July from California.
Wow.
Welcome to the East Coast.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
What part of Cali?
San Diego. I was doing that whole spiritual journey,
Right.
getting
Love
a
that.
divorce and all that stuff. you know.
Okay. Divorces are very spiritual. Chris
They
was
are.
out in Las Vegas. I think you
Yeah.
had a divorce out there.
Yes, I did.
Okay, right. So
That was many years
Hobbies,
ago.
man. Hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out to Vegas and got divorced. I've been out to Cali and got divorced. So no, good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Welcome aboard, Stephanie.
Thank you.
We are happy to have you here.
I am happy to be here.
Yeah.
We'll bring a female perspective to the car world that we don't have.
Well, let's jump right into this because we talk about, and I could talk about Tana, and we have Marcy out at the Mopars Brevard show, and women are with us in our lives. They're our kids, our partners, and everything else. But when I have a woman in the office at Dolphin Auto, it gives them an opportunity to let a customer feel more comfortable if you are a female and intimidated by that. But at the same time, some men have a problem getting told about a car by a woman. But it's good to have that perspective. And when we were talking to Stephanie, we were just saying, look, you're a part of the show. It's how it goes. You've got intel. You've got knowledge.
Yeah.
You've got comments. And what did she say? What was the first thing out of her mouth? What about the woman's
remember.
perspective
Oh, yeah.
on
Going to a shop, right?
going to a shop?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I'll go to a shop and I never know what they're going to charge me. Is it the real price? Are they marking it up 25% because I have boobs and they think I don't know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I've literally had somebody tell me that these are factory zip ties on a motorcycle. And I said, oh, wow, really? And they just kept telling me all the different things. And I was like, this is not, okay, I will not have a factory zip tie motorcycle.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
Factory
I don't buy
zip
it.
ties.
Factory zip ties, guys.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
A factory zip tie would have the extension of it razor bladed off flush so you wouldn't cut yourself when you were doing. But I don't know that factory zip ties exist on a motorcycle, but maybe in something. But yeah, so no, it's just great to have. I think that she's going to bring in the different aspect and view of certain different things that we might man eyes onto
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
we'll
I love
definitely-
that.
We'll glaze over.
I love that.
stuff.
Man eyes. All right.
That's
I like that one.
It's like Dukes or
It's like
something.
mansplain.
So we have been busy and everything else as we talked about
Yeah.
the live podcast and then going to Ford's Garage, the car show. There are other shows around coming up in Florida here. This is car show silly season because when it gets so hot, we kind of crawl back in our garages and the air conditioning and stuff. But there's a lot that has been going on.
So how's the shop been going?
Well, the shop has Dolphin Auto is crazy. We're crazy busy.
Turned into like C3 Museum, right? Corvette C3 Museum.
We've
Or-
had 15 C3s, 16 15 of them since the beginning. Well, since we came back from Christmas break, we've got a C6 over there right now that's kind of kicking our. It's not kicking our butt, but this is on the Corvettes that have the C6. I think it's not the 5, but maybe the 7 as well. They have that torque tunnel where the drive shaft is based inside. They've split the gas tank to two different sides, two different tanks hooked together by PVC lines, plastic corrugated lines, and then through a metal housing that locking them both together. It's a real 12 hours to pull them down and replace fuel pumps or whatever you've got to do on top of them. We had an evaporative emissions issue, so we were...
Oh, you smoke tested that.
We smoke tested
You showed me the video. There was a lot of smoke coming through there.
Yeah, but out of the top right tank, which isn't where the fuel pump is, but there's a sending unit on the other side, and there's a couple sensors, and we thought maybe a sensor, things dry rot, and the tips break off, and so they sit there on there mounted still, hooked up, but they're not doing the proper readings, and you get this leak, and that's what I thought it was, a sensor that had failed. You got some video. We took the tank down, and one of the evap lines was cut clean off, which made us look across the top of the torque tube to find the other side, and it wasn't even there. So we took that tank down, and then we went and realized that somebody had put a brass fitting in where something else had broken and used a couple of hose clamps on some regular fuel line on a high-pressure fuel system that wasn't going to hold, work, or do anything else proper. So the customer already bought a new fuel pump. We're going to put a new fuel pump in it. We're going to try and fix these lines. We try to order everything we can from General Motors, directly go back. It lasted this long. Let's see if we can get it last another 20 years. Everything's discontinued. It's broken off. There is a company that sells a crossover kit. It's expensive, $600-700. So we're in the talks with the customer now to buy that and get this car fixed and done and back on the road. But they knew they were going to sell the car, and they knew the expense of it, and so they left it butchered for the next guy.
Oh, so this guy just bought it, and
He just bought it 2 years ago, doesn't have a lot of miles on it, had it up north and didn't drive much because of seasons. He's brought it down here, entering into retirement, and lo and behold.
that sucks. That's why it really pays to take your used car to a mechanic before you buy it.
Yeah, when you're buying a used car, you're buying somebody else's inherited problem. They're selling it for a reason.
And they're going to tell you everything is great with it. It just needs this. I love when I read on Facebook, because I'm Facebook addicted to the marketplace.
Yes, sir.
I just always peruse that thing. It's like entertainment. But I see people like, oh, just needs a fuel pump. It just needs spark plugs. It just needs spark plug wire. Something super simple and something super easy to do. And they're like, oh, I'm going to take $4,500 off of it. I always call bullshit every time they do that, because if it really was that simple and that cheap, then just do it yourself and make another $4,000. So I know they're full of shit. I know there's something else. They probably got a gremlin in there that they don't know how to fix, and they're trying to pass it off to the next guy, kind of like your Corvette.
Well, kind of like the Corvette that you found that was a steal at $7,000. Needed a
Should've bought it.
A shifter cable.
Should've bought it.
Is that all it needed, or did it need a transmission because it wasn't shifting? Ooh.
Fair.
But that's where having some.
But I tend to believe that one a little bit more because her husband passed away.
Right.
And so she was just stuck with this Corvette.
Right.
So I tend to believe that one. Now, she could just be making it up, a sweet little old lady that only takes it to church on Sundays. But you don't know. I mean, but for $7,000, that was a nice Corvette for $7,000.
I have a customer who has that orange 64 T-Bird, and he bought it out of California sight unseen from a little old lady in Pasadena that drove the thing on to church and see Jesus and the doctor to save her life. And it's got 4 paint jobs on it, and it's a solid car. But
Did you ever see the Andy Griffith episode where Barney bought that used car?
I don't know if I remember that.
I'm
one.
a huge Andy Griffith fan.
Right.
And he bought the little old lady. She was a sweet little old lady. I just take it to church, and my husband passed away. The same thing. It was just a big old hunk of junk. But yeah, that story's been around forever, right? What about these C3s though?
Well, they've just come out of
the woodwork. So C3s are now, if you guys dig them, you better start buying them now.
They're getting more popular.
They're definitely gaining popularity.
They had a long run. I mean, where'd they go from 73,
I think,
up until
82.
82, because in 83 they didn't make them.
They didn't make one in 83. Yeah.
So they had a long run of a decade, and there's a lot of them out there. We've got factory T-top, big block, 4-speed in the shop right now doing a full paint job. We're chipping lacquer off of it. That's how old the paint is on it. We're doing. We had a 72 convertible, small block, 4-speed, all numbers matching, 95,000 miles. The thing's worth $30,000. He wants 30. I mean, he wants as close as he can. We're going to make him a deal on that and get it sold and go to the new home. Beautiful car. But all of them that have come in have been worth working on and getting back together. None of them have been so
far gone.
Right. Which leads me to another one that I you know nothing about. Well, I talked to you one time about this real quickly on the phone.
Okay.
You and I passed back a lot of stuff about cars, and what are you looking at tonight and finding, and you'll send me something, and then they'll send me into a tangent on a reel, and I send something else back. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I have a customer who has come to me after I set several of them out on Valentine's Day weekend. I went away and I set 5 Corvettes out front.
Yeah, I remember that.
He came in the weekend after and says, Kenny, I didn't know you were so big into Corvettes. I said, I'm not. Don't bring me another. He goes, well, I want to sell mine. I said, well, I talked to you once about this. This was a 76 white 4-speed small block. It is a hard top, and I'm not sure if it's a T-top or not.
That was before they started doing the bubble back window.
Yeah, that's
which
before.
I like those more.
This is a T-top car, white on white. 4-speed small block, non-air car, factory no air.
Yeesh.
Right? Came from up north, clean. It needs U-joints. because right now you can hear him. One of them's lost a bearing. He's already bought them. The only other thing that he needed, he said that need new weather strip around the T-tops and doors. He's already bought that. He just had double knees and hips resurgery all done this last year. He can't drive it anymore. Now he wants to sell it because he can't even get in there to start it up anymore because the knees, he can't push the clutch. So now he knows it's going to sit. So he wanted $7,500. That's what he came to me, the car. Can he buy it? $7,500. That's almost not a bad deal because these cars are going for, well, when we started talking a couple years ago, they were going for 15. Now the market, Chris, has come up, right? I mean, you watch this a little bit, and they're getting into 20-ish.
They're creeping.
Right.
I think 15 is still fair right now.
Yeah. I think one done could bring 20.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Interiors,
Yeah, I think so.
If the interior is really clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the interior is an expensive part of a redo on a rest or anything else.
And not only that, like, you guys, if you guys, like, you see the body and all that, yeah, that's one thing that is expensive. We get it. But the interior is also very expensive because you got all the electrical in there. And if you find a project that is just in pieces, you don't know, you're going to chase gremlins, man. You really are. You're going to chase gremlins.
Well, this is an L48, which is a good horsepower engine for even that year. And he came and said, Kenny, look, I'll make a deal with you. I want you to buy it because I know you'll get it good place. $4,500. Now, to me, that almost puts us to where we want to go look at this and talk about it. In fact, right before the show, he did call me. I told him, give me a call Monday. So I'm hoping that you'll run this through your mind a little bit and that we're going to talk about it over the end of the weekend and maybe go look at this Monday after work.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay. So I think it's pretty cool how things happen to come around. Roy, who is our master painter at Dolphin Auto, he is NCRS certified, which is, if I say it right, National Corvette Restoration Society.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And so
especially for Corvette guys.
Well, he told me, Kenny, once you pull them out front, man, people are going to come. And I'm like, we're just showing them what we do. By God, man, like flies to water.
Especially right now, it's snowbird season.
Yeah, he does Corvettes. These people move. Hey, we just moved in. We've got 3 of them ourselves. I'm like, oh, great to meet you. So a lot of fun out of that.
I would just hear like dollar signs. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Like every time, like, I have a Corvette. You want to work on it? Cha-ching.
That's almost, well, I had an old boss way back, Tiny Pongetti. I love you. You taught me a ton. He used to say Fords kept me in business. KMIB keep me in business. And that's just something that's always stuck with me. Very funny. So.
You know, one thing that we're starting to see, you know, and I see it in other places, not just here at Dolphin, but I see it on the internet. Cars are getting so expensive, and everybody knows this. Cars are just, it's outrageous. It's not even fair. It's not right. So people are actually turning classic cars into daily drivers. Like Stephanie's age, maybe younger, because you said you were 40. I can't believe you told us that. Anyway, squirrel.
You're only 44.
I know, but usually women kind of keep their age to themselves.
Man, I don't care. I look good for 40, so I'm not going to cry.
She's an open book. I've learned this already.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, so this lady in California, I believe, she's a lot younger, and she daily drives like a 67 Coronet or something.
Yeah.
Every day. She's like, this is my daily. She's like, it's cheaper for me to buy this, fix this all the time, and drive it. She's like, I drive it on the freeway. It doesn't matter. This is so much cheaper. And she's like, I think it's cooler than a new car. She's like, and I think she had like 20 grand into it.
That's a lot.
Well, I mean, she's had it for a while.
Yeah.
So fixing things.
Over time.
And talk about fixing things. Remember I showed you, did I show you that video? There's a video out there. I don't remember what kind of car it was, but they had to change the starter. They had to pull a cab to change the starter.
Yes.
That's insanity to me.
Yeah.
And I think people realize, like, hey, I got to take my car to the shop. And Stephanie knows I got to take my car to the shop, and they're gonna just completely run over me and charge me for zip ties that have.
You're gonna get had.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
And people was like, I just want an easy life. Like, you know, they're like, oh, I like cars, but they end up kind of becoming a slave to their car because they're so expensive, and then they got to keep them running. Yeah, and then they're 10 grand upside down on them after a year.
Well, we've seen, Chris, that people are starting to do. I've got a customer named Todd who's got a 4-door Impala.
Yep.
An 80s model. They're not afraid of doing 4-doors. If they can get that look, that something, whatever, they don't mind now that it's got a 4-door, because the Charger came in and brought horsepower to a 4-door sedan, kind of opened the window for a lot of people to say, hey, I've got a fast 4-door.
I will say the millennial generation, they like 4
They
doors.
accept it.
Yeah, they like it. They're like,
Yeah.
I got kids. They gotta get in the back. It's easier
Yeah.
for 4 doors. I don't believe in that 2 doors too many thing.
Is it the Durango that has got a
SUV,
Hellcat?
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's a 4-door, and right, Holland, that's all-wheel drive and stuff. So certainly you can get now horsepower in a new car that has 4 doors. You don't have to buy a Challenger. You don't have to buy the Mustang or the Camaro.
Yeah. Well, and going back to that lady who has, I'm guessing it's like 20 grand in that car, right? Well, you say that kind of high. Well, what's
It's
the
not
alternative?
compared- no, right.
What's the alternative? Going
Right.
to spend $60,000 on something that's junk.
On a car that's going to depreciate. When you buy this car, I bought a Maverick not too long ago. It needs an engine training. I got one and whatever, but I bought it for $4 grand. It's a solid car. Even if you went to Jasper online, Blue Star, whatever, and you bought an engine and a transmission and you had it put it in. Okay, so you'd be around. I said I could do this and sell it for 12 and make somebody a fun little car. You could do it. You can have it done for 15 grand,
Absolutely.
and have a very reliable, dependable daily driver that's not going to ever depreciate.
Absolutely. And here's the thing: most car payments, I think they said the average car payments now is around $750, $800 a month. Now you take that same,
my.
yeah, but then
God.
and people will sit there and say, "Well, my car's more reliable and I don't have to fix it." I was like, if I put $600 in 6 months into my car, how much more money have I saved over your $750, $800 a month car payment?
You know, one thing that bugs me or whatever is when I go by an apartment complex and I see a brand new badass car. I don't care if it's an Audi A8 or if it's a sports car, Corvette, something, whatever. But you live in an apartment and you've got a $100,000 car out front. I'm like, this is bass backwards to me.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
shaking babies and kissing hands. It just doesn't make sense. So
You had something you were going to throw in there?
Yeah, I just spent 60 grand on a vehicle, and I will say, I love my vehicle, but
I will say you picked
All right.
a pretty good vehicle to go 60 grand.
What
on,
is it?
though.
What is it?
Toyota Tacoma, 4-wheel
right.
drive,
Those hold
TRD
their value
Sport.
a lot better
Okay.
than most.
They put me in her, and I just loved her.
Did you have a trade-in?
Nah, my car was totaled, so I had a.
At least you didn't have any negative to roll into it.
No,
That's
I had
good.
a hefty. I think I had like 15, 20 grand I put down, so cash.
That's good.
But
Well, what is your car payment? Can I ask? I mean, you're going to tell us your age. Tell us your car
so
payment.
it's $850 right now. In May, because I'll like refinance it or whatever, it goes down to $4 because I can put it on my own credit and my own line, whatever.
Tiana's paying $4,
But-
and
My last car payment was $125, guys.
$125 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Her face went stone.
Well,
I need a raise.
I don't have
You just-
I don't have a car payment. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I tell people. I have a 17 Ram. Bought it brand new.
Yep.
Paid it off.
Oh, red.
And yep, it's Big Red.
Yep.
That's her name.
Big Red.
And I love her. And if she ends up shitting a transmission or an engine, guess what?
I'm buying an engine.
Getting an engine and transmission,
Right.
putting it right in that truck.
Well, because this goes into buying a used car and buying somebody else's inherited problem. I tell people now, look, on average, we did a story way back, Chris, right before the end of the year, where people are keeping cars on average of 26 years.
Which is way higher.
That's beyond anything I've ever heard of, and I've been in this industry for over 35 years. and I have people coming now and they're like, "Oh man, that repair, $1,800. The car's 15 years old. I don't know what to do. I think we'll go look at a new car." So you go do that. And then take this piece of paper and remember that car has a value. You're going to talk about a trade-in. You're probably going to come back and give it to me. I feel like the guy, vin.com, where I'm going to buy your car. That's why I've got 36 of them or 37. I think I just made another deal. But we buy and sell cars.
You don't sell.
Well,
you buy cars.
Okay, Mike.
You say you're going to sell them.
I try hard. So I just got a phone call from an old customer right here. Says, "Can you got cars for sale?" And I've got 3 of them. So we're happy about that.
That's
good.
good.
And we finally got them together. We don't work on ours first. We work on customers.
Yep.
Now, as we get into the concept that people are driving these as daily drivers and all this, then I love that. It's almost like nostalgia and bell bottoms and everything's coming back full circle, and put them back on the roads. They're safe.
Yeah.
They were made with real steel. And they don't have airbags, but you didn't need them.
That's True.
I mean, it's a big deal. You can buy all the new LED bright lights for them. You can buy backlit bulbs for in your dash to make it brighter. You can put the stereo with the monitor that you did in pearl.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can get the old car modernized.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it just
100%.
makes a lot of sense to keep that car now. But I think that, Stephanie, you bought a truck that probably is going to hold a lot of value. Toyota has a lot of great resale value.
They do. You made a good choice in that.
I think you're going to
And
keep.
now I know someone to restore it for me as I get older and it gets older.
I'm going to be getting older, and we'll tell you about somebody down the road.
Yeah.
Well, you'll know someone.
Yeah, we'll know somebody.
Kenny knows everybody.
So no, it's been great to meet Stephanie and have her come in and help. She's also helping out at Dolphin Auto. Tiana is overworked and underappreciated and helping us out there. So I get to know her daytime and drag her over here to do this from the garage to the shop. Love it. Thank you.
The garage.
Drags
Shop,
me
I like
over.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Where you got? Where are we going?
we're talking about new car sales, so I think this is a pretty good
Segue.
segue, maybe. It's going to be a short topic.
All
But
right.
It's still one that really blew my mind, and you guys probably know it because you may be insiders. We're just guys sitting behind a car talking shit. But Jaguar
Yeah.
going
what did we learn?
100% EV starting this year.
2026. I think.
No, this year, 2025.
So right now there are no
Everything
new-
that's rolling out new from Jaguar is 100% electric. They're electric. They will not have any new gas-powered.
so no
vehicles.
hybrids.
No hybrids. They're 100% electric.
I don't know what you think about that, man. How about a comment down below?
You know, it's funny that
I'm-
Jaguar has said
wanna know.
we're all in.
Which I think is
When other
ludicrous.
companies are going, I don't know so much anymore.
Ford said we're going the opposite.
Yeah, Ford backed out of it. Dodge or Ram, they had yeah, we're gonna
Full
the
electric
Charger.
on the Charger?
What was it? The Charger and the Challenger. They're like, oh yeah, they're all electric, and now they're saying, I think we're gonna
spoke
put the
too
Hemis
soon.
back in there.
Yeah.
So, have you seen those? The new ones, the new Chargers.
I think I saw a picture too because all the new Chevrolets are coming out too, and I'm a lot more into the El Camino and
Maybe
Chevelles
I'm biased.
out
I
there.
am a Mopar guy. I think they look really cool, but they have one thing I don't think I can ever get behind is they're electric, right? The ones are out.
Yeah.
You can go
Yeah.
see on the showroom floor now. But they have an exhaust sound. It's speakers out the back of it. And when you've hit the gas, it goes vroom, vroom.
Right. Tesla did this, I think, at the very beginning.
Did they really?
They put a little something in the dash that ran through your AC vent system that as you went, it would propel a sound that you didn't really know where it was coming from. The vents are all over. So it gave this little noise that gave you something other than a radio to listen to.
Well, no, but this is audible outside the car.
Oh.
Yeah, this is audible. Like it comes from where the exhaust tips should
Okay.
be. Like you,
All right.
and so
Come on.
Yeah, you hit the gas and there's people walking around. Oh, wow.
Sell that to a guy that's
don't-
going full electric.
I don't know, man.
How do you take pride in full electric if you know you
And
can't give
I
up
like
gas
the car.
for
I think
sound?
the car looks cool, but I think that was pretty stupid. I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
Because it's still stupid. I don't
Yeah.
care what.
I love my mom. You love your dad. It's all good. We're different people, man. Look, we're not here to bash anything, Chris. We say this a lot more than we probably. We should put a disclaimer on the wall behind us. Take this nice, beautiful Tri-5 down and put something else up
Man.
that says we're sorry if we offended you. We are car guys. We talk about everything going on in the world, from Jaguar to BMW to Toyota to Ford Mavericks and Chevy Vegas and whatever else is in between.
We had some viewers that didn't like us, that insulted us, and just called us some stupid good old boys from Florida. And so I really need to get the rights to the Dukes of Hazzard. It's just a good old boy song, and
Am I allowed to sing it? Right? We can
That'll be our new intro as soon as we get the rights to that. We would do it now, but they
boy.
would flag us and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff. We don't want to do that, but yes, we should. That should be our intro.
But we could have sent Macho Man Randy Savage out there. Could have gone down and kicked his ass. Yeah. But we didn't do it. No, he got us like a lot more views on that one video that was ridiculous. That sent everything kind of crazy. We're just car guys. Look,
Yeah.
we're just car guys. Just
We're
in the shop,
dudes and dudettes now, just like you guys.
shooting shit and doing it because y'all have said, hey, it kind of clicks and it works. Bring it back. Let's do it again. You're going to subscribe. You're going to like something. You're going to leave a comment. Then that makes us think that you all saw something that you might want to see again. You know?
Yeah. We're here to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're going to redo the studio as well.
Yeah,
Or
we're getting
the
ready to do a
shop,
lot of
as
stuff,
they
man.
call
We got a lot of stuff going on. I am in the process of putting together a shopping list with Tiana on Lucy, our 70 Nova. I went to go put her up in the air to do an oil change, man. She gets so abused. You rode with me. Pearl, what's her tag?
Square Life.
Square Life. And you treat her
I'm a square dude. So it's a double entendre. She's a square body GMC, and I'm a square dude.
I'm not. I'm balls to the wall. If it's got gas, I'm going to give it. If it's got brakes, I'll use them when I need to. And that's how it goes.
Yep.
So Lucy gets beaten up pretty good. And I think in 3 years, this is the third motor. I've got another one going in. So in the fourth year, I'll have a fourth motor. This is going to be bigger than all the rest, just like the other ones are. And we're going to keep building her and doing. But we're putting together the inside right front tire was cords. Never even saw it, didn't know. And that might be from hooking donuts and burnouts and stuff, but the back still had tread, so I figured. But we do drive her to Chattanooga every year for the Motor Car Festival in October, which is incredible. But I had to get tires, and I said, well, let's send her to the alignment shop. And they said, man, everything's shot. Tiana's like, well, we just did control arm bushings. We did this, we did that. Well, that was 3.5 years ago, and several thousand miles. Yeah. We just bought bushings. What you did with Pearl, you went tubular.
I did.
And you said, man, Kenny, when I took that first drive.
Yeah, it was night and day.
Night and day.
It was absolutely night and day. If anybody out there is on the fence of upgrading their suspension from their stock, the classics to tubular, it's worth the money. It really is. Like the body, and I added a sway bar, which it didn't have, which I found kind of curious. But anyway, so yeah, I remember before I would be doing 55, 60 in Pearl, and anybody that's ridden in an old car, it feels like it's starting to float on you, as you're just kind of going. And so I went that first ride in Pearl after getting the control arms. I was doing 75, and I was just felt planted, to the ground. You really felt it a lot better.
Well, we are getting ready to buy all the front end stuff for it and everything else to do this. I'm going to buy a line lock kit with it. We've got the 700 R4 with it, with the flip switch for the lockup converter, and it's already got the 10-bolt posi. I'm going to leave the tubs the same. This car, we'll get a picture up of her, but she is all patina. It's all original, and we park her next to a $100,000 Corvette, and people just come up to her and clamor over how beautiful she is. Torn seats and everything else, but we're going to make her a little bit sleeker, a little bit better, and leave the patina on through all the little cosmetic repairs that we have to make.
Yeah, it was funny. So at the car show at Ford's Garage, Lucy was parked next to like $100,000 Jaguars, electric Jaguar SUVs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think everybody stopped at Lucy and just kind of passed by the $100,000 Jaguars.
I love that she is beautiful, and you're going to paint Pearl. And
paint Pearl.
One day she's not going to have that old farm truck look.
She's not.
But with the wheels you've got on her, everything else that's going, you're gonna keep her beautiful and do what you want.
If she had patina like Lucy does or like other trucks do, I would.
Right. You've got chipped paint.
It's got chipped paint. Yeah. And there's, and then it's got different colored white spots throughout it. It just, the patina on certain parts of it, like the hood's cool, the roof's cool, but like the sides and everything, it doesn't look as good. So.
Right.
I'm going to paint it.
Right on. So a little quick story. We got some photos here. We'll put up. Today is March 6th, 2025. I'm going to go back in time 21 years because the segue was that the car was floating. It reminds me of a quick story that 21 years ago on this day, I had a car accident that busted me up really, really bad. And I had a passenger with me, and we both survived. We both were taken to the hospital. But I was in this 1974 Lincoln Mark IV, I think it was. We had taken the 460. It had 24,000 original miles. We made it a roller motor. We took the C6 transmission and put an overdrive kit on it. We put 20-inch wheels on it with Cadillac tires. It was a great car. The owner,
what year was this?
I think it was a 74.
No, what year did this happen?
Oh, this was 21 years ago, so that was 2004.
Okay.
March 6, 2004. So we went out and had this thing over the weekend, and he had brought it in because he'd taken it to several shows. He won them all. And it came in, it was burning smoke. But we made this thing a high horsepower roller motor. And so therefore it makes it harder to keep this thing a streetable car. He was older guy and cruising it and taking it. So now he's like, Kenny, it's burning a little oil. Maybe it shouldn't be. I had to go in and do some valve adjustment on it. So we were getting it up to a good speed, a good temperature to burn the oil out. So for delivery on Monday, he would have the car back and not have that residual issue anymore. I believe we took care of everything that needed to be taken care of in the motor to get it back right. The car floated. Now, I was excessive speed. I got up around 140 miles an hour. I love to cruise, man. I'm all out. I lost control of the car. The outer tires hooked on the uneven pavement on the shoulder road, and I crossed the median and hit a semi head on. The semi driver broke both his wrists in the impact. He saw it coming. I remember his mouth saying, "Oh shit!" And it was a horrific day, but I survived. I wondered for a little while, meandering about what my purpose was after that, Chris, because why does somebody survive something like that unless they've got a purpose later on in life? So you start searching with God and trying to find out what it was or whatever. But we'd done so much to the car. We did so much to the car. We didn't do bigger brakes. And we didn't do a bigger sway bar. We didn't do a tighter shock, a coilover. I go back and I replay it. And it certainly was driver error. It was certainly all me. Could we have put some coilovers, a bigger sway bar, maybe a modern suspension, and not have had that floating condition in this beautiful car that was destroyed? Insurance paid everybody. Everybody lived. Everybody walked away. But,
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, amazing to think about that. You look back at the pictures and you think to yourself,
That's the whole saying, right?
Yeah.
It's more important to stop than go.
yes. My saying is I would much rather have a car not start than not stop.
Yeah.
You go out in the morning, damn, it won't start. I got to call a mechanic, get a ride. You get in your car, you take off and won't stop. It's, hey, I'm at the hospital. So
Yeah.
no, really. So that's my story of the day.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yep, the good Lord kept you here for a reason.
Yeah. But I think it's time, since I do drive Lucy the way I do, that she's got to get better,
Taken care
bigger,
of.
and a little stiffer and be better.
You got to take care of our ladies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they take care of you, right?
Yeah, I think that's important to do in all this. So we do have some car shows coming up and some events coming up. I am going, today is Thursday, so I am leaving tomorrow around 2 p.m. The shop will still be open. They'll be working. I won't be. Tiana and I are going to take Taryn and Talon out to the Gator Nationals in Gainesville, Florida.
What is that?
That is NHRA's drag racing event. John Force, Brittany, Force, all these people, whatever. I haven't been for a long, long time. I've had some incredible times and memories out there, but the cars went a lot slower. When I went out there, Kenny Bernstein he just broke the 300 mile an hour. That was 1998. So now Brittany Force just yesterday, I think we'll have a short clip up on this. Brittany Force yesterday in practice brought her dragster out. She, by herself, a solo run, she ran out and blew up at the top end, which it isn't even a quarter mile anymore, which is 1,260 feet. Now it's 1,000 feet because they're just too damn fast. Even though they're making them faster, they're going to figure this out. They were getting to where they were going to be 400 horsepower or 400 miles an hour at 1,260 feet. So they've lowered it back down to 1,000. And she broke right before the finish line, 3.62 seconds, 340 miles an hour, which isn't a record of any kind, but she took off and I lost my notes. She did the 60 foot in 0.891 seconds. 60 feet, 0 to 60 in less than 1 second. She got
These
to
are
the
top fuel, right?
She got to the 330 foot mark, top fuel.
Yeah.
She got to the 330 foot mark at 3.02 seconds, and then she got to the 660 at 3.5 seconds or 3.3 seconds. What the thing is that she went from 330 to 660 in less than half a second.
That's moving.
That's moving. What she did was, Brittany Force, congratulations. You are the fastest person on earth. 0 to the 8th mile in, and she went 302 miles an hour.
In an eighth mile.
in an eighth mile. That is the fastest land speed record ever.
That's
I can't even fathom
No.
that.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
I
speechless.
can't, I'm like,
trying
what
to
does
come
that
up with
even look
something
like?
cool.
Right.
Or
It's a blur. So we went to Orlando Speed World for Sick Week. Tiana and I did, and we watched some cool cars go, and some are fast and some are slow. And what you think is fast is nothing compared to this. Tiana and the kids have never been to a drag race before, except for Tiana to a local track, and so we're going to be blown away. The first time I ever went to go take pictures of a dragster was out at Bradenton Speedway, and with a guy named Wormy, Dave Johnson, and. My pictures I took with a little 110 camera, click, roll the thing forward, click.
For you young kids.
I don't know if you're old enough
That's
to remember
real
that, right?
film.
That's real film. And
I
so,
did photography with real film.
So we went to develop this, and everything's blurry, and I'm like, man, well, this guy messed up my. I almost F-bombed. He messed up my photos, and this. Oh man, I really wanted that picture.
With all the
And they're like,
vibration.
no, the ground was shaking.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
It is. It is.
So,
Marcy and I have been to several drag events when we lived in Vegas. We'd go to Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
yeah, what a great track.
Bill Sword, if you watch this, thank you very much for the tickets. We always got free tickets, and
Okay.
VIP tickets, and booth seats, and all that stuff, which was always a really, really good time. But to your point, it is now. I've worked on fighter jets and jet engines, and being on a trim pad,
Yeah.
next to a jet and full afterburner, and that you can't see straight. You're completely blurry.
From what?
The ground shaking.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the dragsters, those top fuels, man, as they're come by, it's not as bad as a fighter jet, but it is. I mean, you're still your head shaking. You can't see, you can't hear, you can't focus on anything. It is an experience unlike any other. That's for sure.
Well, we watched the Jet Dragsters during Sick Week over at Larson Motorsports in Melbourne, and they're impressive. They're super awesome. We saw some flames shoot different because the angles of what, but what is the horsepower of a jet engine, or do they not even measure it in that?
It's not.
It's not. It's a torque loaded more, isn't it?
It's pounds of thrust.
Okay,
So
totally different.
Yeah.
There's no conversion chart for that.
Maybe we can
I
Google
would
it.
love-
I'm gonna Google it, and if I find one, I'll put it up
Oh,
right here.
How about you guys Google it and show us first?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd
Is
be
there a
awesome.
conversion chart from pounds of
Some
thrust to
some of my
horsepower?
old crew chief guys are probably going to hop in here, and they'll probably know it.
I would love that.
But like the old Block 40 F-16s I worked on, I believe it was 25 to 35,000 pounds of thrust
Oh my!
out of one engine. So it's just one engine.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The
Yeah.
thrust to weight ratio on the F-16 was, and I actually got to fly in an F-16.
So I know about pulling G's in a corner or whatever, but we hear about it from these pilots, the Blue Angels and stuff that take news reporters up, and they always black out. It's always fun to watch.
So I got to fly an F-16.
Yeah.
We pulled 8.5, almost 9 Gs.
oh my God!
I did not black out.
You tucked.
No, I was younger and stronger, so I could handle it. I'd probably pass out now. I'm old and fat, but no, man, it was a really good time. It's pretty. I mean, especially on F-16, it's like flying on the tip of a pencil, man.
So rolling into a G where people turn and invert or whatever. If you are just cruising in a jet, let's talk horsepower. Commercial airplanes take 125 miles an hour to take off. They have to land going at least 80. What does it take to make a jet take off?
It depends on the jet.
Because on an aircraft carrier, I mean, you just hold it back,
they're
wind it
catapulted.
up. Yeah, okay. So they got to help.
They have a catapult right on their landing gear.
My question is, if you're cruising along at 200 miles an hour and then you just don't turn, go straight, you hit it, it still throws you back in your seat?
Oh, 100%. So, they have a parking brake on F-16. And so we have the parking brake set. However, when you put the throttle an inch above idle on an F-16, the parking brake automatically releases.
Okay.
So the pilot, it's funny, it's happened in Vegas, and the pilot in front of me, the actual pilot in the front seat, his call sign was Vegas, which was pretty cool. But anyway, so he put it up, he ran up, he's like, there's Mill, he puts his foot on the brakes, and then he slams it into burner, and you just, whoop, yep, that's it, and then we went straight up.
Right.
And I looked back, and the earth got real small, real fast.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun. I got pictures of that too. I'll probably throw some up.
Yeah, do that.
They're old film photos. I don't have any digital photos. That's how long ago this happened, but
That's all right.
And it was actually for my 21st birthday.
Wow. So
In Vegas.
23 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, time flies, huh?
Yep.
Well, What else you got? Anything?
There's a little war story for you.
Yeah, no, I love them. I love them. No, I've flown in my uncle's biplane. I've flown in commercial planes. My dad used to fix up Cessnas back in the 50s, like we'd fix up cars and then resell them and stuff. He always had this dream about wanting to do it in a glider, and he never did. I told a customer, Joe West. I told Joe one time, just talking about my dad after he'd passed 5 years ago, and I said, my dad always thought about a glider. It'd be so cool, just to sit up there and soar like a bird with nothing. And Joe came back in, and he bought me a gift certificate to go gliding. I haven't used it. It's been 3 years.
Wow, that's cool.
Because I almost like will be full circle, and I won't have the story anymore. Or something. I don't know. I'm kind of.
You would have it, and then you would have the pictures as well that you would take, and you wouldn't have an expired gift card on your hand. Because I'm sure there's an expiration date.
I don't think there is, unless the guy retires. But you're right. You're right. So
but then just take it and
this summer, when the wind is really aloft and doing its thing, then I will go ahead and do it.
You know,
and we'll photograph it.
All right.
Video it. All the things.
We go to SEMA this year.
Yeah.
They had the Ace Combat where you actually get to fly in these acrobatic airplanes. And so we did. I did air shows in the Air Force right before I got out, and so we did a lot of shows with Red Bull. Yeah, they let us go up, and they let us go up and fly. Obviously, there was a pilot there.
Yes.
But we were in the Red Bull thing, and they were doing the tumbles and all. You're talking about getting sick. You get sick.
Wow.
I get sick.
Wow.
It happens. I mean, your gyros are still spinning, and so even like in the F-16, I was fine until we were flying straight and level.
Right.
And then I got sick.
Right.
Because my body still feels the motion, but I'm not moving.
So that's a question I had. How is that after you get out? Like boat sickness. You get seasickness. You're on the boat for a while. You're rocking back and forth. Yeah. You can get sick there. And then people get sick when they get home afterward. Yeah. Do you get like that? Like, can you?
So some people do. They did tell me that you could get sick after. I did not. I was in the airplane when I got sick. So.
Yes.
But after that, I felt great.
No, so it's getting your sea legs back and all that stuff that you do, and you take Dramamine or whatever. So not hurt over whatever.
I was a lot younger. I was 21 back then, right?
Yeah,
so.
You could drink it all and do it all.
Yeah, I mean, right after that, I went to Del Taco and got some food. So.
That's what made him sick.
Fun fact, I have never eaten at a Taco Bell in my life. I've never done it. I am with a woman that loves tacos.
Hard to believe.
I have never, ever.
I'm there once a week,
Taco
bro.
Bell. I
don't eat it, but my daughter.
Okay, right. So I
don't really care for Taco Bell. Del Taco on the other.
I don't know. I'll make my own soft shell burrito taco, but it's very bland, very nothing on it.
That's right.
Because
you don't do spicy.
I don't do a lot, and I'm a certified chef, and I still don't. But that's the world we live in. So this goes to the show. We are two guys talking cars in the shop.
And I'll tell you this: if you see this, congratulations, because if you may not see it at all, because it might be so bad that this just goes off into oblivion. So if you see this, give us a little thumbs up saying, thanks, you guys actually did it. Because all we are a bunch of car guys. We're not tech guys. We're not camera guys, sound guys, lighting guys. That's what happened here. So I actually hit a button and it started flashing, and it just started flashing red, white, and blue.
Oh, were we strobing?
So, it was strobing, blue, red. And so we're just car dudes, and we're trying to
put pedals.
We're trying to do stuff.
And Stephanie, welcome on board, man. Really appreciate you. We hope we have a great long future with you. I know that we're going to continue to grow and do this thing and have fun doing it. So,
thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'll say thanks to Greg Billings for sharing his music with us. That is a Stranger Band out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Thunder Bay, as it would be. Greg Billings Band, a great lifetime friend. I say thank Dolphin Auto for sponsoring us.
If you haven't already, hit that like button, that subscribe button.
Yeah, man.
Follow us along.
Well, leave a comment. Tell us what you thought. All right?
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Talk to you later.
Until next time, stay safe. God bless.